In this presentation, I will be talking about organizational control with an emphasis in total quality management. My objectives are describe the purpose of controlling an organization, define total quality management and how it works, describe the 5 techniques used in TQM, explain financial and budgetary controls and how it is used in TQM, conclusion and references. Organizational control has been described as attempts made by an organization to increase the chances of employees behaving in a way that will lead to the attainment of organizational objectives. The purpose is to increase productivity and performance. And I would also like to add profits because that's the purpose of starting a business is for profits. Total quality management is a technique used in organizations to improve the quality products and services provided to the customers. There are 5 techniques used during the implementation of TQM. The technique that I want to cover is quality circle. A quality circle consists of a group of employees who meet to discuss problems and solutions. The purpose of quality circles is to get feedback from the employees who actually do the job. Quality circles are most beneficial when employees have challenging jobs. Those employees can get together and with their knowledge, they can solve interesting problems. Benchmarking. Benchmarking is the continuous process of measuring products, services, and practices against the toughest competitors or those companies recognized as industry leaders to identify areas of improvement. Benchmarking consists of a 5-step process. The first step involves planning the benchmarking. The second step is identifying the sources of information. The third step is to collect the data. The fourth step is to analyze the data. And the last step is to implement recommendations and monitor them throughout the process. Control circles can also use benchmarking when they are providing their feedback reports. And we have Six Sigma. The concept of Six Sigma is quality products at a lower cost. A unique feature of Six Sigma is that its implementation facilitates the achievement of continuous quality improvement without losing profitability. Six Sigma is based on a 5-step methodology referred to as DMAIC, standing for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Six Sigma requires a widespread change throughout the organization. So in order for it to be effective, management has to be on board. Six Sigma may not be a good technique for all organizations. So managers are going to have to assess their organization and see if this is a good technique for them. Quality is another technique used under total quality management. It is the approach implemented for quality improvement throughout the process of making a product instead of after the product is made. Quality partnering helps with detecting defects in products before they are provided to the consumer or early in the production process. So if you're involved in the process from beginning to end, then it's more likely that you're going to produce a quality product. So that's the concept of quality partnering, to follow the process from beginning to end so that if there are any hiccups in between, they are fixed before the products are provided to the consumer. The last technique is continuous improvement, which is the idea of improving things a little bit at a time on an ongoing basis. And when that's done, it has the highest probability for success because you're not trying to improve something in a large scale. You're doing it a little bit at a time. So it's more effective and you're able to focus more on that small thing. There are many requirements for continuous improvement to be effective. And one of those things is that the organizations must be able to unfreeze. So that means that they have to be able to let go of existing principles and practices in order for new things to be implemented. Also, employees have to be provided with the right resources for continuous improvement, such as the right facilities, they have to have the right skills, they have to have the right equipment. They just have to have the right resources that they need in order to do their job, and continuous improvement will be more effective. Also, it has to be clear what is expected. Employees have to know exactly what they are expected to do. So, managers should clearly define expectations with their employees. And finally, they should also know what the organizational goals and objectives are. What are they working towards? So, and continuous improvement is, like the word says, continuous. So it's ongoing. And financial and budgetary controls. Budgetary control is the process by which actual income and expenses are compared to planned income and expenses. The purpose is so that you can see if plans are being followed and if those plans need to be changed in order to make a profit. Financial controls are put into place to ensure organizations are making a return on their investments. Because, like I said in the beginning, companies are looking to make a profit. And companies use things such as financial statements to track that progress. A company will have to be very consistent with their financial and budgetary controls if they're using the TQM technique, because TQM is a continuous process. So it has to be a consistent thing. So if it's not consistent, or if they're not being consistent with their financial and budgetary controls, then TQM would not work. And TQM may not be the best technique for every company. It does not always work. So companies need to assess the different techniques and use the one that's best for their company, because companies that have used TQM may have been disappointed that it did not work, and that's because it wasn't the right technique for that particular organization. Have the conclusion. Organizational control is a very important aspect of business. Leaders have to maintain the integrity of the company, and this is achieved by controlling employees' behavior so it reflects their interests and the objectives of the organization. Total quality management is one of the tools used to implement organizational control. There are 5 basic techniques associated with TQM: quality circle, benchmarking, Six Sigma, quality partnering, and continuous improvement. Financial and budgetary controls are tools used to budget and control finances. All of these tools, if used properly, can increase the likelihood of success in organizations. And here are my references.